Oh!
Yeah, you did a good job.
I say! Listen to me, good people! The sun was in my eye! I understand! My horse tripped!
Driving real slow on the passenger side. I couldn't be your sunshine.
I have finished the first Spookoplathon, the Bookoplathon for October, the first book that I rolled for, which was Nightmare Arcanist, and I don't think I actually included a speaking bit with that, so I didn't talk about the book at all. So I'll go ahead and talk about it now. This is, oh my goodness, it's shaking. Am I shaking you? Hold on. There we go. Hopefully no more shakes. Stay still. Okay. So this is Nightmare Arcanist. Oh my god, I kicked you. What's wrong with me? Okay. Nightmare Arcanist by Shami Stovall. I need to look up how to pronounce that. I know it's on her website. This is, as she pitches it, a Pokemon meets magical school sort of book. And I would also add into that cartoon, like Saturday morning cartoon vibes, in the best way possible. So this is the story of Volk and his pseudo kind of adopted sister Ilya, and they want to become Arcanists. Volk is our main character, and in this world, Arcanists are people who have bonded with a magical creature. They now have the powers of the magical creature, and the magical creature is like their partner in crime almost, you know, not in crime, but you know what I'm saying. They get up to madness, they protect the world, they do what they do. And Volk really wants to be one of these people. So he attempts to take part in his island's traditional festival, which would bond him to a phoenix. Were he successful, however, Volk is a gravedigger, which is considered a low status, like you shouldn't be doing Arcanist level things. You know, they're looked down on. Those people are not good enough, quote unquote, for magical creatures. The creatures themselves are really chill, they're very friendly, but the people in the town are not. The reason for that, besides the gravedigger thing, Volk's father is, I think it goes, his father was a murderer, but his mother was a thief. It may be backwards, but his parents were criminals, so that's why he has been a gravedigger his life, and he is raised by a man named William. William also raised Ilya, who was a survivor of a pirate shipwreck. She is treated with the same scorn as Volk is for the fact that she lives and works with William, and she got scarring over half of her face. The pirates took an eye and scarred up part of her face, and so people are cruel to her. So he fails at bonding with a phoenix, and then they find out that there are magical creatures stranded in the woods on this island. A ship has crashed and has stranded those creatures, and he goes out to find the creatures, him and Ilya, and they want to bond with them. I am not going to spoil who they bond with. They do bond with it, obviously. Arcanist is in the title. The title also gives away who he bonds with, but I am not going to give any details on that. But he does end up bonding with a creature who has been bonded before. It's called a second bonding, which makes it more difficult. The creature is also fully grown, whereas typically when a young person bonds with a magical creature, they grow up together. And Volk has bonded with a creature who is already grown, and Luthar, I think was his name. He is on a mission to find the man who murdered his first master. And so Volk agrees, I will help you do this if you will bond with me. And so they become an Arcanist together. An Arcanist team, rather. And the neat thing with this, I think possibly the root of the Saturday morning cartoon vibes to me is that Arcanists have symbols on their foreheads. It's like a star with a symbol for your creature wrapped around it. His is a sword, and I think a cape. I think it was described with that. One of them has a magical whelk, like the sea creature. I loved that one. It's very cool. The two kids who bonded with the phoenixes have phoenixes wrapped around their symbols. It's so cool. In the course of this one, they bond with a creature, they go to the mainland, and they join a guild, which is like the magical school part, and they get a master and become an apprentice. And it has a big cast of characters. We have, like I said, Volk and Ilya. We have the 2 kids who bonded with the phoenixes from his home island, and then we meet 2 more kids, and all 6 of them are bonded to 2 different masters, and they're very close friends. The kids, not the masters. And they end up working together on a lot of things. I loved this so much. This was a 4.5, 5-star read. I had so much fun with this. I didn't want to put it down. The only reason I would put it down, I did put it down, was because this is a hardback edition. I shouldn't have bought the hardback. It hurt my hands to read it physically, so I would put it down, rest my hands overnight, and then pick it back up. So that's why it took me a while to read it. I loved it. So that was my first prompt for the Spookoplathon. And then I rolled Stabby on the second prompt.
Up in the air, but I'm down for the ride. I could be your sunshine. Yeah. Every time you get in line, baby, give me a raise. Give me a raise.
And I said I was going to do Serpent and the Wings of Night, and I intended to. However, I was trapped in a car. We went to a medieval fair. I'm sure there's some b-roll in here already, and I was trapped in a car for like 2.5 hours, and I ended up reading something on my phone, and I'm going to use that for the Stabby because it counts. He literally saw his brother's arm off at one point. That is The Fall Is All There Is by C.M. Kaplan. This is another indie book, and this is another SPFBO finalist. I am attempting to read all of those, and I am absolutely loving this as well. Just great books across the board so far this month. I am almost done with this. I'm 70% of the way through it. I will easily finish this. If I don't finish it tonight, I will be very shocked. I will finish it tomorrow. So I am going to go ahead and roll for the book that comes after this. I'm going to do 2 rolls here in a minute for finishing that one, and then I will finish this one, and we'll count that for a second roll. I read 50% of this in the car and ordered a copy, and I have tabbed the crap out of it and like annotated and put notes, and I love this. I will summarize it when I finish it, but just so good. The voice on this is fantastic. It's a first-person narration from a man named Peter, and I think it's Peter. It may be pronounced Petra. I'll have to look it up. It's spelled a little oddly. And he is the youngest brother of a set of 4 quintuplets? The 4 twins. What's the word? He's the youngest. He has autism. It's mentioned once or twice, and it's his perspective, and it's told he is getting caught up in the mess that his siblings are making. His sister is being crowned queen. His middle brother is assisting her, as he should, and his second oldest, or the next in line, so the sister's the oldest, then there's one brother, his name is Edgar, and then Desmond. Edgar is up to some nonsense, and he's trying to pull Peter in on it, and it's just a family being messy and political machinations and rebellion, but it's so tight and focused in on him and his perspective, and how even if someone's making a dumbass decision, even if you don't always get along, you still love each other, you're still siblings, and it really humanizes that idea of, I don't know, you see it a lot in fantasy. Oh, my sister took the throne, but I want it, and they just hate each other blindly, but that's not the case. And the siblings that are caught in the crossfires, it's so good. The voice is amazing. I love this. I fully anticipate this also being a 5-star. I have just been hitting it out of the park with my picks. For the Andy reads. I think it helps that I'm picking like SPFBO books, but also stuff that I know is going to be a buzz for me, like Pokemon. Hell yeah, speaking of, I just got that DLC today, and I am so excited. I'm having so much fun. Anyway, it's time for the rolls. All right, you are not in the tripod anymore. Let me get my dice. I should have... That's not my dice. That's the wrong chest. Hold on. My daughter has been moving things. That's fine. We will use my dice for my tiefling. So the first roll is a 5. It's a 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 crows and ravens. Huh. Okay. Let me do some looking. So I have picked 4 books because I'm indecisive, and that seems like something I would do. What we're gonna do, I just had it in my hand. I have put it down, and now I don't know where I put it. I have a D4, or I had a D4. Let's see. We'll use this one. I'm gonna roll a D4, and that will help us decide. So we're going with 1, 2, 3, and 4. That is going to be a 4. So that's Fortuna Sworn by KJ Sutton for my first roll. Maybe I can use one of these for the next roll. So let's see what that next roll is. That's a 6. Ooh, doubles. Okay. I have to roll twice then, I believe. So let's do 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11, 12. Ooh. There is nothing better than revenge. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's see what I can find. Okay, we're back. Let's see. Okay. As I might have shown in the B-roll, this literally has the word revenge in the description. So, we're going with that. I am a little anxious about the fact that I rolled doubles, so let's see what's next. So we have a 4, so 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Randomize your TBR. Ah, crap on a cracker. Okay. Here's what we're gonna do. Wake my mouse up. We're going to do a random number generator. I'm going to restart this, and we will do 1 through 3 for the 3 shelves, and then I will roll it again 1 through 20, and we will count for each shelf because there's at least 20 books on each shelf. So 1 through 3. So bottom shelf down there with Pixel. Let's do. And I'm just going to blindly point and count 11. Did you see it? Yes, 11. Okay. So we'll just start counting with these that I pulled off the shelf earlier. So 1, 2, 11. I have no idea what this is. What is it? A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon. Okay, some romance. I can do that.
Living for lazy days, up in a daze. Ooh, driving down the 405, never feel so alive. Yeah. Ooh, every time I'm all alone, can't help but pick up the phone, and I'm ringing it for you.
Okay, so it is Sunday. Let me turn my car off. I am trying to hide from the sun, and I'm just going to do a quick car update. I am headed to the gym for my Sunday night workout, and I thought, you know, why not update you guys before I went and got disgusting. So the first, oh, there it is. Oh, God. The first order of business is I did DNF A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating this weekend. I DNF'd it yesterday on Saturday. I mentioned in my weekly wrap-up it was starting, or my mid-month wrap-up, it was starting to feel really long, even early in the book, and that did not change. It stayed feeling long, and I just started to dread picking it up. So I got like 30% through and said, okay, that's good enough for me. I really enjoyed parts of it, but on the whole, it was just not for me at the moment, I guess. I did pick up, though, Fortuna Sworn, which was my other role. Yeah, you can see it with the sun on it. And I have read half of this in a sitting, and I am into this. I'm super enjoying this. There are parts that, like, kind of maybe shows its age a little with some of the phrasing on things, but on the whole, this is great. Really having fun with it. So this is good. This is really, really good. As long as it finishes out strong, I will be picking the second book up probably at the end of the week when paycheck come through. When paycheck come through? When I get paid. So I am going to go squat heavy things and probably read on the treadmill for a little while like I do. And then I'll update you guys in a little bit.
I could be your sunshine. Not gonna stop until we collide.
Yeah, I'll help you.
Okay, thanks.
We can take a video.
Please, you silly ham.
I wanted to be in your video as well.
Okay.
So I'll help you.
Okay, help me build.
I'll do the TV. Here you go, Mommy.
Thanks. Here's some blocks for you.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing.
No, thank you for sharing.
I could be your sunshine. Every time you get in my baby, give me.
I've had a big week in regards to mail. So really quickly, I'm going to give you my general reading update, and then we're going to talk about what happened here because some things happened. So first off, let me grab the book. Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon. I have DNF'd. I think I talked about this in another update. It's going in the unhaul bag, so we'll put that aside because I just remembered I talked about it in another update. I am still reading Fortuna Swarm. I updated last Sunday night, and Sunday my daughter wasn't feeling good, and then yesterday she was also not feeling well. So she stayed home with me all day, and I took the day off work, which meant I didn't get any reading done at all day. The only thing I read was that night, right before bed, I finished Surrender to the Moonlight by Drea Anderson, which this was okay. I think perhaps Drea Anderson's shorter work might be more for me, or possibly my mood. Right now I'm in a very I don't want to be on earth kind of type of reading mood, and that is okay. So this one ended up being like a 3-star. I will definitely go back to the series. I think there are 2 more books. I think one is out and the other one is coming out if it is not already out. So I will definitely come back to the series, but it may be a little while before I do that. I did read it. I liked it. I just wasn't very much in the mood for it. And that's okay. Now, this. I had a whole bucket load of Pango Bucks. So I took the opportunity to get a series that I have been eyeballing for actual years, and I saw almost all of them on Pango, and I was able to get them all with the bucks I had. I think I ended up spending like maybe $5 outside of the Pango bucks, so that worked really well for me. So I got the Roxura books by Martha Wells, who I love. I got the second one, which is the Serpent Sea. The third one, the Siren Depths. The 2 short story collections or novella collections. The first one is Stories of the Roxura, and the second one is also Stories of the Roxura. This is volume 2. And then the new duology, I think that is in the world, is The Edge of Worlds, oh my god, and The Harbors of the Sun. And since obviously the one I was missing was the first book, I got it on Amazon for like $10. I think there was a coupon, The Cloud Roads. So now I have this whole series. I don't do this anymore. I don't normally do this anymore. This is not habit for me. I don't buy whole series at once like this, but considering as how I had the effectively store credit, I was like, you know what? I'm never going to find them this cheap anywhere else ever again, so I will go ahead and get those. So that's what I did. I also historically really love Martha Wells. I loved The Witch King. I love all the Murderbot books. I have read her much older stuff that's getting reprinted back in the day, and I loved it then. I'm due for a reread on those, so this felt like a solid one. Plus, these are non-human main characters, and I have said it before and I'll say it again. I love anything that is a non-human main character. sign me up, I'm sold. I did get one new release this week. It just came in the mail today, and that is, oops, shaky a little, Mimi's Tales of Terror. And this is not a Junji Ito, but it is a Junji Ito. So Junji Ito did the artwork for this, but the original story is by Hirokatsu Kihara and Ichiro Nakayama. So I don't know anything about this. I just took it out of the box a minute ago. Ooh, I like the naked hardback. Oh, the back is different. So this is the back of it. That is disturbing. And that's the front. So this looks very cool. I probably gonna sit down and read this after I do this update. I need to turn my brain off some more. In all honesty, I just played like an hour Fortnite between work tasks to try and turn my brain off, and it kind of worked. I'm still a little wound up from this morning. This morning was rough, but that's far and beyond. I'll update if I do get any reading done. And the last two things, I said I wasn't going to do this. In fact, after I did this, I had to tell my husband I fell back into the trap. Book of the month. I've been an on and off again subscriber to Book of the Month. We have a long and torrid affair, and they sent me an email and I fell for it. But this time I let my daughter pick the book that I got for my like $5 book or whatever. And I said, do I get, she's like 3.5, 4, so she doesn't know what these are about. I just said spooky book or romance book, and I showed her the covers, and she picked the spooky book, The Starling House by Alex E. Harrow. I have read, I think, one Alex E. Harrow and liked it, and I have read another Alex E. Harrow and I actually really didn't like it. So this may be the deciding factor on whether or not I continue with Alex E. Harrow. But this, I think, is a haunted house story, and I do love haunted house stories, so it's got some points in its favor. And I also picked up the Vampires of El Norte by Isabel Cañas. I have the Hacienda in the Book of the Month edition, so this matches, and I loved the Hacienda. This is about vampires. I love vampires. I loved her previous book. So, fingers crossed for this. I'm going to try and read these as soon as possible. I want to, if I'm going to do Book of the Month, I am going to keep up with Book of the Month. We'll see what happens. I might skip when I don't keep up. But that is my accidental sizable book haul this week. I'm going to try and finish Fortuna Sworn today. And when I finish Fortuna Sworn, I will do another Spookopoly, Bookopoly, whatever you call it, roll. And we'll see what I get. And maybe I'll try to cram one of these into my options as long as I don't get a TBR card. We'll see what happens.
Give me a raise. Every time you get in my living for lazy days, up in a daze. Ooh, driving down the 405, never feel so alive. Yeah. Ooh, every time I'm all alone, can't help but pick up the phone. And I'm ready.
We're in the car again. So I'm headed to the gym, and it's the first quiet moment I've gotten this weekend. It's been a very busy weekend. We went trick-or-treating 2 days with my daughter, once in our small town, and another time in another town down the road. It's a historic town. They do a big trick-or-treat evening the weekend, usually before Halloween, and then our town does one during the day on the downtown strip. So we did both. We hit up both for the little girl, and then we've had a friend over. So it's been a busy weekend. I have not got any reading done, but since my last update, I think I did finish a few things. So I definitely finished Fortuna Sworn. I'm not sure if I've told you about that, so I'll mention that now. I really did like it. I liked the ending. I definitely saw that twist. About halfway through, I figured out who our twist character was, and I was pretty excited for it. I'm happy to have seen it. The whole thing with Oliver makes me a little uncomfortable. I don't know why. It gives me the ick. It gives me the ick. I'm not sure how to vocalize that quite yet. The whole thing with Oliver is a little uncomfortable for me. Him being trapped in her dreams, and Anyway, let's see. What else have I read? I finished Knock Knock Open Wide, which was fantastic. It was very good. I really enjoyed it. It was not what I expected, and I liked it a lot. For a spooky, like, holiday read, I think it would be a good fit. This one was a horror novel about a woman who is kidnapped shortly after getting engaged, and she is kept captive by some not nice people for a little while, and the consequences of that filter down to her children many years later. And it kind of uses a lot of Irish folklore with the three crones. The Morrigan, I think, is what she's called. I'm no expert, so don't take my word for it. I liked that. I enjoyed it. And right now I still haven't picked up Daughter of No Worlds, which womp womp. I have my gym bag, which is just basically a bag to cart my Kindle and assorted readings around while I'm at the gym, because I do read between sets if I'm not watching something on YouTube. So I am currently reading on Kindle The Parliament by Amy Pukwatka, I think is how maybe you would say that. I'm not sure. Just on a whim, I'll put it on the screen. It is an ARC. It comes out next year. It's another spooky horror thriller book. And I have the second volume of Oishi no Ko for when I'm on the treadmill. I'll probably read that. And I am almost done with The Fall by Ryan Cahill, which is the prequel novella to, what is it called? The Bound and the Broken. You can read this one before the first book. It's not always recommended, but he said there are two methods to read the series, and one of them starts with this. So that's what I'm taking to the gym tonight. Tomorrow I will probably do maybe one more clip and close the vlog out and let you know what I got read tonight and tomorrow during the day. And that will be the October Spooktober Bookopoly, whatever you want to call it. At this point, I've forgotten how to say all words. Vlog. So I'm off to the gym, and we'll see if I can move anything today, because I am pooped.
For you. Never wanna stop, never wanna slow down. Don't you ever dare.
So it is I, the problem child who forgets to update. So the final book update for the vlog for this month, I finished The Parliament by Amy Pukwatka, I think. I liked that okay. My problem, I think, with that one, it didn't quite connect for me. The character was written, the main character, the point of view character, her name is Mad, and she is trapped in a library with some other people in her community that she's kind of run away from. She is back in town. She doesn't live in this town. This is her hometown. But she is back to teach a chemistry class on bath bombs, just for a fun community thing. She is there at the library to teach the class, and when she gets there and the class begins, they begin to realize, they as in the whole library begins to realize, that the library is being surrounded by a swarm of owls, like a couple thousand owls, small little owls. And they also quickly find out that if you leave the building, the owls eat you. It's kind of horrible. There's a few very good scenes. If you like that kind of like horror gore in your horror, this is got some good scenes of that. And that was a strong start, but the character's view, she didn't work for me very well. Her voice was written in such a way that I didn't connect. There was a almost forced quirkiness to her that I have sometimes seen in recent, like last year or two. Sometimes characters have this like forced kind of uniqueness to them. They're clunky, or they're written to feel awkward or shy, but it really just comes off as poorly written or hard to connect to and not a good way sort of thing. I didn't care for it. And there were also a few times where something would just happen and it was never explained or extrapolated on, and it just, where's so-and-so? Oh, there's his dead body. Like, we kind of get the gist of what happened, but also it felt like maybe there could have been a little bit more explanation or something to it. I don't know. It was okay. A very cool concept. The strongest part of the whole book was the alternating chapters that were actually a YA story that Mad was reading to the kids that were trapped in the library with her. That was the best part, was that story. And it worked because the stilted kind of writing style that killed the character point of view for me was better done in the YA story, because it was meant to be sort of like a fable or a fairy tale. It's okay. It's done. I finished that yesterday while I was getting tattooed. I was just chilling in the chair while he was putting ink in me. And I started Serpent and the Wings of Night, which I was supposed to read at the beginning of the month. And I got, let me see, I've got the physical book over here. I got about a little over, actually, past halfway at this point, because this is the interlude. I'm past this now. Let's see. Yeah. Oh no, this is right about where I am. So I'm at about 274 of what, 600? Less than 600? No, not even 500 pages. So yeah, I'm over halfway through this. I'll probably finish this tonight. I am going to the gym. I just didn't want to do another car update. So I'll finish that tonight at the gym while I'm walking if I do treadmill. And I am also reading the second Power Ranger comic omnibus, which is going very well. I love these comics. I'm very excited to collect them. My husband and I have decided to collect them. He's excited too. That is it for this very messy October vlog. I will try moving forward to do these weekly. I had footage for the Spookopoly vlog, and I was also working on a second vlog, which is scrapped. And then I thought, well, there's no point in starting weekly vlogging when I have like a week left of October and all this footage for the Spookopoly stuff. I just lumped it all together. Next week will get its own shorter video. So that's it. I'm tired. I have been editing all day, as you can see with my headset. I am going to go wait for this clip to upload so I can finish this out. I will read Power Rangers, maybe read Serpent. I may also read some of the other manga that I have gotten, and I'll try to relax. I will talk to you guys again soon. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know down below what y'all have read. If you've read any of this stuff, what are your thoughts? Did you have a good October? Did you take part in the Spookopoly readathon? And I'll talk to you there. Again, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you soon. Bye.